when you are storing the data. So eventually you will have your application specific data. These vendors, they never go inside what's stored. If you even if you open up a support ticket with their technical team, if you like you're facing some issue with the database creation or something like that.
What do you mean by never? They never go, like basically they never go, or they can't go?
No, they can go, but they will not go. They will not go inside. And like, for example, if you're storing the data of your customers with the credit cards and so on, they will not go inside like what you are storing inside the databases, what's inside the actual infrastructure. They will not go. If you are if you are opening a support ticket with their technical team, you acknowledge that this data will be shared. Then you intentionally give them the access to the data. They ask for this. Apart from that, they only have the access to the high level stats, such as how much consumption you have on your cloud tenant, how many resources you have. These kind of high level stats they will see. But what's inside a database, they will not. They have their legal team there, so that thing is already there. Then if we talk about the application security, then there are multiple layers to it. For example, if you talk about simple database, there is encryption at rest, encryption in transit. So you have to manage those things. Then if you talk about the end-to-end security of your infrastructure or your application, there are multiple services or multiple things you have to think about. The first of them is the DDoS attacks. DDoS attack is simply denial of service. For example, you have your application up and running. That can be a website. I start bombarding your application with anonymous traffic. And one given time, it will slow down. It will start behaving abruptly. And then I can find a weak spot, weak area, and I can simply get your access to the your application. So for that, there are DDoS services by the vendors. These can be enabled to prevent this thing. They will mitigate those. So for example, if they are seeing a surge of traffic from a particular region or a particular IP, they will take care of it. Then the next layer is the web application firewall. So basically a WAF, or basically there is SSL termination is also there. So you set up policies there. For example, what kind of like SQL injections or what kind of like there are some standards there. So you enable policies there, like these are the policies, these are the standards. There is a HIPAA compliance, GDPR compliance. They come up with their own a set of standards. You enable on the web application firewall. So whatever traffic is passing that, you will make sure that this has been taken care of. Then from the other side, SSL is now like quite basic. That is like most of the tech people know this. Everything should be SSL secured. If you talk about the IoT devices, then there is a then one thing is infrastructure security. Then there is another layer regarding the IoT devices security. There has been some incidents or some like requirements where we have to secure the IoT device as well. So one is the server side authentication, as the server side security with SSL. Then you have client side authentication as well. So it can be done with the hardware module, or like just like your TPM devices, or you can embed some client side certificates on the IoT device. So basically what it means, your server is the authenticated one, just like an SSL. It's sure like from a like authorized body that the server is legit. Then client as well, that this client is also legit. So when there is a communication between them, you can make it encrypted. So now you have a complete like cycle, like the ecosystem is secured. So that is a part as well. Then there are other securities as well. You can harden your like if you talk about the virtual machines, you can do port hardening. Port hardening means that you only open those ports which are essential to you. Your application, it will have front end, back end, or some other WebSocket based thing. So you're only opening that. Then you can do whitelisting on top of these. That, for example, SSH or RDP is only allowed by one of the IP of the office. So no one has access to the direct access to your virtual machines. Then you can do secured SSH on. There are other tools like you can do a VPN tunnel. Like you make sure, like from the application side of things, you have tools there. And when the developers are accessing this thing, the security is already there. Now, there is another trend that you only give the bare minimum access to the resources, to the developers, to the DevOps team that is required to get the job done. You don't give them the direct contributor access, owner access to all the resources. So no one has direct access to this, and everything gets created in a very secured environment. And so you are covering multiple aspects. One is the application security. You have some services there. Then you have the other thing is regarding this secured infrastructure creation, that no one intentionally can mess up your system. And then you have the other security as well. Then there are other services such as Defender for Cloud. There are some people get the logs of their systems. They integrate with their SIEMs. Basically, then they monitor all the system logs, how the users are behaving. So then security, you can do at the multiple levels. It's up to how much of investment you want to do at the security. But as of now, security is essential. If you are dealing with the data of the customers, security is always there.